We are the poorest and the largest parish in the diocese. The numbers go between 200 to 250,000 people living within our parish boundaries. It goes from poverty to extreme poverty. So the people have many, many needs. So our ministry also includes food baskets. I think last year we gave close to 60,000 food baskets. Different U.S. groups come and they help with that. The youth ministry is very active in doing that as well. It's about sharing what we have with others. Some of them are elderly, some of them are sick. So this food basket that has just the basics, rice, beans, flour, oil, can mean for some of them if they have a meal or not. Here in Mexico, the minimum wage for someone that works full-time job, 48 hours a week. Not the minimum wage, but the average wage from many of the companies that are here is about $65 to $70 a week. And things are not cheap. So if a family has to live on that, they have many, many needs. If they get sick and they can't work, they have many needs. Here in Tijuana, one of the ministries that I do is youth ministry. We've been very successful. We have about 300 very active young men and women in our youth ministry. The heart of that is Search Retreat. We do weekend retreats. And from there, other ideas have come about. For example, a lot of these young men and women wanted to go to school. They were really bright, really smart, but for different reasons, they could not afford to pay for their college education. So we started a scholarship program. This year, we gave away 80 scholarships. These are young men and women that are now going to school, studying to be doctors and dentists and lawyers and social workers, teachers. So it's going to be a great investment in this community. So I also do vocations. We're also very blessed because we have a group, about 25 to 30 young men that we come once a month and we gather to talk about vocation. What is vocation? What is the Oblate spirituality? The goal of that meeting is to talk about their vocation, where God is calling them. So again, that's very successful, the fact that 25 to 30 young men are thinking about it, becoming an Oblate. So that's been very inspiring for all of us. We've been also blessed because it's been very consistent. Every year, at least one or two from this mission has joined the Oblates. Recently, the youth ministry was able to raise some money, and they decided to use that money to build roofs on people's houses. So far in the last 2 months, they put 10 new roofs, and that's completely from scratch. Tear down the old roof and then put a new roof. And for a family to have a new roof, that's the difference between living a decent life and not. Many of them talk about when there's rainy season, they sleep on mattresses that are wet. So the fact that they don't have to worry about leaks, the fact that they have a solid roof over their head, that's a huge blessing. Several U.S. groups come to our parish and they bring food or secondhand clothes, and we take anything because people here need it all. 3 times a year, Our Lady of Malibu comes. This is a church in the Malibu area. And Martin Sheen, the actor, also comes with them. I'm very impressed because they come for a day and they usually bring about 400 food baskets and toys and clothes for the people. So Martin Sheen is very generous with his time. He's giving away the food, the clothing, he's signing autographs. And recently I interviewed him and he says he's very moved by this community. This community really livens up his faith. He comes here to serve, but he comes back even with a deeper sense of faith and in community because the people here are so giving also. Even though they live sometimes in devastating situations, they have an inner joy, a sense of giving, and for that, he is very grateful. We have a clinic. In the clinic, we have 2 full-time doctors, 2 dentists, psychologists, psychiatrists, many programs for the community. And so because we do have this clinic, we have a lot of connections with either universities here in Mexico or across the border like USD. And often they come, they're nursing students or even pre-med, and we do health fairs. We do some general checkups for people. So we do a lot of that too. The health is a very important aspect of what we do here in the mission. Divine Child, that's Divino Niño, that's one of our 14 chapels, mission churches. What's unique about that mission church, because that's at the other end of the parish, that's at the other end, that's kind of like the borderline where a different parish begins. But something very interesting, that area, that's where a lot of new immigrants are moving. It's very close to the train tracks. That's federal land. So what happens is that because that land belongs to the government, people come and they invade, the squatters. So now we have thousands of families living along the train tracks. So because of that, these are the poorest of the poor. Usually families that come here or that go there, they live there. They don't own the land. Many of them don't have jobs. They're looking for jobs, or they come from the south with very little, and they just build with whatever they have. The infrastructure is not there. Many of them don't have running water or electricity. It's a great community. It's very lively. And there we're also trying to develop programs that would include some medical services, psychological services, because again, that's at the other end of the parish. So that's the area, Divine Child, where we're probably going to develop more because the need is there. Today at Mass, as we were, the Mass was starting, this man came in with his 6 children. And the little boy was wearing a tie and the little girls were really well dressed. And they were paying attention all through Mass, just with such respect. At the end, we talked to the family a little bit more. They live by the train tracks. And even though they look really clean, this is clothes that people had given them, that they got from maybe a time that we were giving away clothes, or they just bought, secondhand. But the fact that they looked so well dressed, like I said, I was very impressed that one of the little boys was wearing a tie. It was a very old tie, but for them, it meant looking good to go to church. Now, some of the people, not everyone lives along the train tracks. Some of the people might live, in a humble home with running water on the other side. So we have a combination. Again, our parish has poverty, working people that make a living, working hard. Some of them are in college, the students, to extreme poverty, where we have people that really don't have much, not even running water. And they come to Mass together, and you wouldn't be able to know the difference, because I think people try their best to look their best. Sometimes you do. You can tell that people really don't have much. But others, with the little that they have, they wear with a lot of pride. We are very blessed because this parish is able to thrive and to have so many programs thanks to the help of many people in the U.S. Every year, about 6 groups come and they build houses for the poorest families. So every year we build about 21 houses. So I really want to thank those people that take a week in their summer and they come and they build in the heat. Also, we have 2 sister parishes, one in Minnesota, Our Lady of Lourdes, just great people that have contributed in our mission in just amazing ways, and not just financially, which is also very important, but also through prayer. The same with Our Lady of the Holy Rosary in New Mexico. Our Lady of the Holy Rosary, that was her first sister parish, so they've been walking with us for several years now. And again, it's been a very consistent sisterhood, brotherhood, family that comes together. And it's very interesting because we talk about it often, that you could be from different countries, live very different realities, but there's more that unites us than separates us. And one of those things, it's our faith, and the fact that our faith calls us to serve and to help those in need. Many great Oblates that came before us did just amazing work, being able to provide so many places to worship, so many programs, that for me it's a blessing to just continue in the legacy of these great men. We have great priests here, and Brother Peter, great component to our community. And we're happy and we're blessed, because I know that other mission areas don't have as many Oblates as we do. So we're definitely blessed to have this number of Oblates here at this mission. There's always more to do. There's always a new house to build for a family that's very poor, more families that need medication. There's always roofs that collapse or roofs that are not working well in their chapels. So we're just very grateful, because when we have an emergency, there's always people that are generous and contribute to our mission. I'm inspired by the people. I'm inspired by St. Eugene. I feel very blessed, and I'm very, very happy to be a priest. I don't see myself doing anything else. I know that this is exactly where God wants me to be, what I was created to do. So it's such a wonderful feeling when you know that you're living out your calling. So I encourage everyone, young men and women, to just question yourself. Where is God calling me? You know, Viktor Frankl, in the book Man's Search for Meaning, there's a sense where he says, you know, don't look for success, don't look for happiness, look for your mission. And success and happiness will follow because of that.